First on BBC One.
Do you like it down here on Earth?
What's he saying?
He senses an evil presence.
He senses an evil presence.
Yes.
Who could that be?
Which 3 months of the year begin with the letter J? Think before you answer.
January. June. July.
Come out.
It's time for you to play your game. People are coming.
One false move and I'll run this man through.
Oh, goodness me, what a terrible threat.
By what creeps, what crawls, by what does not. Let all that grows recede and rot!
Visionaries.
Can't see, can he? Call an ambulance, Duncan. Can't see, man!
Biker crew, man.
Welcome to the Wheel of Fortune. It's really good to see you. Here she is, Carol Smiley.
Whoa.
Thunderpants. On the planet Underwearer, Y Fronto, leader of the Thunderpants team, awakes to find...
The magic bloomers of Underwearer, with their amazing powers and sacred gusset, have been stolen.
Oh, no, sir.
Summon the team, Willie Nix. This must be the work of the evil Bumra.
Yes.
He's enjoying himself. Oh, where's he gone? He was there a minute ago.
Long time with these vintage flipping neighbours.
This is Harold when he died.
Harold!
Oh shit.
Answer me, love! Harold! Harold!
Wackaday. Give me a Wackaday stickers.
I'm Hardy. Good morning, Tom.
Hello.
You go round there, love. Hello there. Nice to meet you. No, sit yourself down. Come on, get comfortable.
Easy.
Just have a look at your personal details. No, not easy.
Hello! Hello there, and welcome to this brand new game show called Get Your Own Back, the show which
Next.
Here we go.
Hello, Games Master. The eyeball monster at the end of level 2 in Altered Beast keeps on killing me. How can I destroy it?
I must say, I'm rather surprised you haven't...
Sync the Pink and the latest Nikam Stereo TV is the reward. Finally, pop the black
Classic.
to win our fabulous mystery Star Prize.
Isn't
Mind
being
it.
stood up dreadful? Has it ever happened to you? It's happened to me once.
Poetry, you write poems and ditties, things. Have you ever shown your boyfriend your ditties?
I ain't telling you.
Without. So, enter, stranger. Who challenges my dungeon?
David Campbell.
You have some small previous experience of dungeoneering, I hope.
Yes, I have.
Very well. And what reward do you seek here?
On Smooth Milk Chocolate, you never forget your first dime. Bloke's a nutter. Oi, nutter!
Phew, what a mouthful. And
What a
here
mouthful.
he is.
You did very well. Hello, how are you?
His hair. Look at his hair.
She's anxious to rush away. She is. I've got fast hold of her here. Stay here and enjoy it, girl. You're not...
Stay here, enjoy, girl.
Hello, welcome to the Armist Inquisition, episode 373 on Sunday the 20th of April.
That's right.
April 2025. I'm Phil.
I am Ben. And I'm Matt.
And we're joined by Noble. How you doing, Noble?
Wonderful, gentlemen. How art thou?
Did you enjoy that?
Classic. Listen. Round of applause, everybody. Round of applause. You knock it out the park every time. And that was a medley of some absolute classics.
I made that especially for you.
Nice.
Here we go. Here we go. Staying with that same theme.
Yeah. I nearly clipped the wedding. What was it? What was
Kylie and
Charlene?
Jason.
Charlene.
No, Kylie, wasn't it? Kylie and Jason Donovan, in it?
Yeah, but she was called Charlene.
Yeah, she
in the
was.
show.
Oh, shit.
Scott-
Okay, I
Scott-
forgot that.
Scott and
Scott and
Charlene,
yeah.
There was Scott and Charlene, and there was a brunette and a brown-haired man.
Toadfish.
Toadfish. It's well before the
All right.
Toadfish days. And me and like the kids in the neighbourhood would play being like Charlene and Scott and the other two.
Right, okay.
I was Scott every time, obviously. Such a giga chad.
Yeah, you better.
When I was
better.
6.
Fair dinkum, lads. Fair dinkum.
It's just been cancelled again, hasn't it, Neighbours? It was resurrected on Amazon.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it's gone again, apparently.
You can't kill what has never lived.
Well, they have.
Well, speaking of Amazon, they've just bought the rights to James Bond, I believe.
Yeah, they have, yeah. So we'll have
Ooh.
crossovers. Clarkson's farm with Roger Moore. Resurrected Roger Moore.
So have they bought the intellectual property or they bought the catalogue?
I think they've bought MGM, haven't they?
Yeah.
So it's all in. I imagine it's all in.
Yeah, I think they've owned MGM for a while.
So maybe it was the IP that was not thrown in the MGM deal then.
So it'll be. I think there'll be Bond universe things happening.
An expanded Bond universe.
I imagine so. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
A BCU.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the M series.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. How she fought
Q
away.
series would be quite good. I think.
Yeah. That's probably a one,
I'd
isn't
watch
it?
that.
It's another one, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That is. That's very interesting. What about the Monopolies Commission? How is Amazon able to do the things that they're doing, and all these other companies able to do what they do, purchase up all these properties and these landscapes, giving us less choice?
I think it's Money Noble.
Yeah, it's called
that.
Fuck You Money.
Yeah.
They have that he has, I suppose. What did he spend on the Lord of the Rings?
250 million, wasn't it? The series cost 250 million.
Rings of Power.
Yeah, but I mean, they did a deal on. It wasn't the IP; it was the appendices.
Oh,
and
right,
the
okay.
Silmarillion, maybe.
Oh yeah, he bought the notes, the chicken scratch.
Yeah, for like 100 million or 200 million from the Tolkien estate. And so they've spent, they've jizzed hundreds of millions on the Rings of Power, which I believe has had a season 3 green lit.
Oh, of course.
No.
Yeah, well, it's meant to have 5. I'd be amazed if it lasts for 5 because no one's watching it anymore.
I was going to say, is it any good? I mean, I haven't partaken myself.
They're trying to humanize orcs in it.
I desperately try and enjoy anything Phil says is shit, and even I couldn't get past.
I mean, that would be
episode 3, I think.
That would be everything.
Why do you think I've got no time?
It is bad.
It's funny, right? I was at the pub with my brother on Thursday. We went out for a couple of beers to our local, and we got to talking about films and movies and TV, and we played a little game where. We got talking about Jurassic Park, and I was telling him about how an awesome film it is.
Yes,
and the little details in there, and foreshadowing, and brilliant storytelling. There's so much in it. You could spend a day just breaking down that film. And so we went to IMDb and looked up like the top 20 grossing films from 1993, and I think there was maybe one sequel, and then we went to last year. And it's Despicable Me 4, it's Spider-Man 3, it's every film, near enough 90. I think there was one film maybe that wasn't a reboot, a remake, a sequel, or a prequel. It's like, God, we didn't realise how good we had it in the 80s and 90s, man. We were getting great films year in, year out, and now you just serve slop.
Absolute seconds, and the build-up. Do you remember the build-up? Barry Norman's flipping 30 minutes of shit. Hey, this was coming out today. You gotta watch that shit, you know.
I think there's still a lot of independent films out there. People are still making good films that are well thought out and have, novel ideas in them. They're just not picked up by big studios, and you never see them in cinema.
Good luck getting them funded.
People will buy tickets for this repeat thing. Well, it worked before, so it'll work again. I'll put out a sequel with hardly any effort. We'll just continue this storyline a bit, and it'll be a blockbuster because they know people will pay for it. because they just want to see characters. I can't even remember the plot points for some of the films I've watched recently.
I think it's reached a tipping point, especially with Marvel and their extended universe over the last half a dozen films, where they're losing money now on each film, so they're not making that money back. So the choices are to either drastically reduce their budgets. Well, yeah, that's it, or just stop making films because they can't afford to spend.
I think, Phil, you and most people, pardon self, still have the romantic idea of you make a film for 20 million and then it grosses 120 million. That's profit.
Yeah.
For the last, pre-zombie apocalypse, it's all propaganda. The movies, the entertainment is all propaganda. So they're not looking to make a return. If they can make a return, wow. They've ate it up as well, and they've supported it. Excellent. Outside of that, have some of this. Let's change the classical norms of what the princess was, what the witch was. Let's change the female and male dynamic, and let's just reverse it. So the hero or the heroine is now the hero. The hero is now the heroine. We'll do the stupid stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean all that's fine, but it's not new storyline. I mean it's essentially the same as just casting a different actor.
The thing is, it's so overt now in movies. No one has a problem with strong female characters, which is the meme. One of my favorite films ever is Aliens. No one in the 1980s was whinging about Sigourney Weaver being a woman. It made sense. It's
you
a
could tell
great
she's
film.
a woman because she lays all those eggs.
It's like it's a non-issue. It's when it's forced down your throat or when gender roles are reversed, just as like a box ticking exercise. I think there's no artistic merit in it. It's just it kind of feels forced, and people can see through it.
And once that's done, where do you go? I mean, I want to see a dog cast as James Bond in the next Amazon episode. You'll get to the point where you have to think of a new idea. Maybe that's just where we have to go. You go through all the shit, and eventually someone might say, "Actually, this is shit, and I want to make a new film."
That's fine. The issue is getting getting the budget to make it, and then the distribution,
the funding. Yeah.
Investors don't seem willing to take risks on new ideas anymore. But maybe that'll change as the old ideas that they keep regurgitating are starting to fall, the big budget ones anyway. But we'll see, because I reckon this new Jurassic Park film will probably do gangbusters, because they all have. They've all done close to $1 billion for some reason, even if they're shit. So
yeah, I mean they're heavily relying on the digital arts, should we say? That's what's amazing. I mean, especially the last one. I mean, it was a piece of dog crap, absolutely. But to see the monsters, the dragons and the huge lizards, I refuse to call them dinosaurs, doing their thing on the screen, it was tremendous to see. But as you say, the substance of it, Jurassic Park 1, 2, and 3. We can literally go up in order of sorts. The first one classic, second one very good as well, third one good but not as good as the previous. But then we just get to let's spend all of the money on the little nerds behind the computers, putting this line here, that line there, and he's roaring this way, and we get a little cat, and we'll change the tone, and that's going to be the roar for the bloody Tyrannosaurus 2.65.
Do you remember the plot points from the last Jurassic Park film?
Fallen Kingdom. Was it?
Fallen Kingdom, that's it.
Can you remember anything about the story?
I'm struggling.
Wasn't there something to do with John Hammond's granddaughter? Wasn't she one of the main plot devices? She was like a clone.
There was a scientist went bad, didn't he? Was that in the last one, or was that in the?
They always go bad. That's the key of each film, isn't it?
Yeah, the scientists were so preoccupied with whether they could. You forgot to say the magic word. I'm gonna go get a soda. I'm gonna go to the machine. You want something from the soda machine, maybe? No.
I always
I'm gonna be
found
about 5 minutes. 10 minutes.
I always found
Yes.
it very confusing when he said soda.
Yes.
'Cause I always thought, like, is that like a salty drink, a soda, for some reason? It's like baking soda. But there we go.
The Americanisms, eh? The Americanisms.
Yeah, what he meant was like a fizzy pop.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
Get a
get
can of
fizzy
pop.
Get a can of pop. Yeah.
Yeah, you never had a soda stream, did you, in the 80s, Matt?
No, someone
Such.
someone I saw this morning had one down the road though, and I can remember going to his house and looking at it in amazement as he put he made like a drink in it one time, and I watched him, and then I begged him for weeks and months to take me back.
Can you make me a soda stream?
Yeah, make me some more fizzy pop, please.
Do you remember how much they were?
That would have been in the 80s. That
1999.
Oh, really?
Honestly.
Oh, right.
1999, man. And that was, see, again, because you guys, you've got your plush 16-acre estates and up there or up north and all that, and the workmen who till the fields and all the rest of the stuff.
Stuff, yeah.
Like, down in crowded Birmingham, we didn't have the money and the luxury to purchase such expensive items, So it was something that you could try out at Argos, maybe. Yeah, man, that tastes nice, that does.
It's only
Remember, guys?
three Mumros.
It was either that or a Mr. Frosty slushy.
Never got a
machine.
Frosty. Never got a
Come on.
Frosty. A Mr. Frosty either. Me and my wife talk about that being our shared trauma.
Childhood trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I wear to this day. That I never got a Frosty the Snowman, however it was called.
Yeah, my mum wouldn't tolerate anything.
Mr. Frosty.
They look messy, them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did it do?
Have an Angel Delight and shut the fuck up.
Well, yeah, Angel Delight was beautiful.
Wow,
Blancmange.
Yeah. Was it Mr. Frosty? Did it just crush ice cubes?
It just crushed ice. And then it was
Yeah.
like,
And you poured the syrup on it.
And then you poured some onto the thing. God, I would have just drunk that syrup.
the blue.
Yeah.
Blue.
I'm sure that syrup is illegal in most countries today.
Yes.
I imagine.
Can you
so.
imagine what they put in that back in the 80s?
Yeah, it probably wasn't crushed carob beetles or whatever it was.
Cochineal.
Yeah.
Cochineal.
E141.
Yeah, that's it. Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
You will eat bugs and enjoy it.
Yes, because it makes everything look red.
Yeah.
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 My two lads just got given some nerds. You heard of nerds?
oh,
The
yeah.
little
Yeah, I
tiny
love
sweets.
them.
And I checked the packet, and there
And
was
you-
no
what did he say?
artificials. No artificial sweeteners.
Oh, that's good.
Wait,
I was
whoa.
shocked.
Well, okay. Well, okay. So what flipping nerds were these then? Because the ones I have, because I don't get them anymore, and I'll tell you why. This is an interesting contrast because the ones I purchased, it had another sticker over what tells you what's in there, and it's got all of this this, that,
Really?
245, blah blah blah, artificial this, and then it's got a huge warning right at the bottom saying some of the chemicals here are linked to brain neurological disorders or something, and I'm like, you what? And I've been scoffing these down like 2 packets like it's nothing.
Explains a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah. There was nerds, and was there one called dweebs? Am I making...
Dweebs.
Dweebs.
A little box.
Yeah.
Like a Tic Tac box.
Yeah, I think so. I used to love nerds, yeah. They were great.
Nerds and dweebs.
Yeah.
Wow. They're like terms for like
nerds.
It's funny, like you've got the same, like the similar kind of sweet, a small sweet, and they're
One
both
was a rip-off.
branded as like derogatory terms for IT folk. Nerds and dweebs.
Nerds and dweebs.
That's
Maybe that's
weird.
why they're not as popular now. Obviously, they're not being pushed and promoted, are they?
I'm gonna come up with a new brand of tiny sweets called the Sigmas.
Jocks.
Yeah. The Chads.
The Chads.
Giga Chads.
Give us a box of Giga Chads.
Yeah.
Take the market by storm. Fill them up. Fill them all with cochineal.
Yes.
Bit of red crushed beetle
just
juice.
red. Just red beetles in there.
But think about it. Going back to the soda stream stuff, the only way for us normal folk to be able to replicate that would be to again purchase another expensive product, which would be the only product that I knew of in those days, which would be Perrier water, which was fizzy water, wasn't it? Sparkling water, which tasted like shit. It tasted, and then there was 2 flavors. There was the original, and there was one with lime. So if you just add your quarters, look at you looking all crazy, man. You don't remember that? The lime one. Was it lemon or lemon then if it wasn't lime?
I don't know. I was just trying to think. I was just accessing the memory banks then when you.
Yeah.
Does not compute.
Yeah.
Does not
I don't remember.
I was getting mixed up with Orangina
Maybe
from Social Club.
Yeah, you used to have to shake.
Orangina is the one you shake. Yes.
In a glass
the crazy bottle.
Always in a glass bottle.
Shake it to wake
But
it.
Perrier, yeah. I don't remember there being a lemon Perrier. Maybe in Birmingham because of the water quality.
You know, you could say that maybe, or being the second city, metropolitan,
Maybe. Yeah.
Have they emptied your bins yet, Noble?
Oh yeah.
It's awful.
I'm telling you, I am telling you, gentlemen, because the palace is surrounded by a moat. What I tend to do is I get because things have changed a little bit now. Things have changed. So I get some of my servants and stuff, they take it outside of the moat. So it doesn't worry me. It's just outside of the moat.
What did your wife think about that?
Look, forget the wife. Everybody is peed.
Someone else's
The
problem.
rats are trying to get in everywhere. They're coming out of the sewers, obviously, and they're like, forget just feasting on these humans, waste products and stuff and whatever else to flush down the toilet. There's an excess. There's a buffet above ground, so they're all leaving the sewers. Splinter, Donatello, and Leonardo, they're staying underground. Splinter and his brethren, they're out in full force, and some of them, they're not running. They're approaching human beings and saying, "Listen, can you move out of the way? I have some food to get, sir."
Wow.
How long's it been going on now, this strike thing with the bins?
Well, technically, in some parts of Birmingham, it has been going on pre-2025.
Yes, yeah.
So we're talking about the latter part of November 2024. Yeah. This is organized chaos and destruction that is taking place.
Oh, well, that's interesting. So you think this is, when you say organized, do you mean like in a prosaic sense, it's just organized industrial action?
Unions.
Or do you think there's an overhanging organization?
Overreaching and overhanging. In essence, one of the reasons why the whole strike thing is starting. I mean, listen to the logistics of this. Now, again, this is all down to councils and mismanagement of monies and all the rest of the stuff. But you have a bin lorry. Everyone's seen them. They hold you up when you're taking your children to school and all that kind of stuff, or when you're trying to get to work. Now, usually you have a driver, don't you? He doesn't leave the vehicle, does he?
No.
Then you have 3 other seats. 2 of them, they're going to be picking up the bins, pulling them around the back, dumping them all in and stuff. And there'll be a 3rd person. And what that 3rd person does, if people are aware of what a banksman is, he acts as a banksman. So he will, because as we know, traversing down these newly formed estates, which houses are crammed tight together and the roads are really, really tight, sometimes he's got to reverse. And again, in some of the old Victorian old school houses, again, some of those roads are real tight, so they've got to traverse around the millions of cars we've got because of the influx of all the different people that's here. So it's challenging. So this guy gets out. Yeah, mate, you're fine. Oh, you just stay here for a minute. Let this bin truck go round. They're removing that job, gentlemen. They're saying, we don't need you guys to have a banksman anymore.
Wow.
It's the same as the guards in trains, right? And that was their beef with the train.
Well, they'll be saying, well, look, you've got reversing cameras now. You've got warning bleeps whenever you flick into reverse. What do you need a pair of human eyeballs for?
I'm just trying to think whether they have the 3rd guy. I don't think I see a 3rd guy on our bin.
He's just asleep in the middle.
Maybe.
Like they take a day off every 4th day. One of them just sleeps in the middle.
I saw this is so I live on like a a cul-de-sac or a dead end, basically. It's not really much of a turning circle at the back, but the bin lorry one day came reversing up really, really fast. And the guy was there with 2 bins, and he fucking ran over him. Yeah.
Shit.
Whoa! And he nearly got crushed by he just slammed on, and he went over the bins, and he went back, the bin man.
Fuck, he'll be on a pretty penny now.
Well, that was a few years ago, but there was definitely not a banksman around.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's bad.
I never seen it reverse up that quickly again, though, the bin lorry, to be fair.
So is it just like a cost-cutting exercise by the council then? They don't want to pay for this fourth roll.
In essence, but and also what we've got to take into consideration, ladies and gentlemen, is that bin men, they do a job which most people wouldn't do, taking rubbish away. I get that, and they should be paid handsomely, and they do get paid handsomely. This isn't like, oh, I'm just, rubbing 2 pennies together. I remember and look, this is going back to the mid-thousands, maybe even late thousands. Mid-thousands.
15th century.
Yeah, the turn of the century, lads. Yeah, when I was coming out the damn chimneys and all that kind of stuff, like 12-hour work days and all that. £15 an hour.
Wow! Back in the mid noughties.
15 quid an hour.
Wow!
And you think of what the minimum pay was back then?
Yeah.
Noughties, we're talking 4 quid or something like that. Maybe it's about 5 he was getting into.
Well, I can tell you, in the mid noughties, when I qualified as a Sparky, the union rate was about £12 an hour for a qualified lecky. So,
and look at it now. You can name your price now. Being an electrician,
what fucking planet are you living on?
Well, listen. I'll get you some work offline.
Phil's just had to get a script out he's reading from.
The union script.
I can name your price, but if they haven't got to pay it, if they haven't got the money to pay, they aren't going to get it, am I?
Look. Again, we'll talk offline. With your qualified Sparky, you should be living a lap of luxury, turning bloody jobs down, lads.
I'm not ruthless though.
Well, no, and you've got to be, and that's a difference, and that's the difference between being a reputable, honest, hardworking tradesman versus someone who's just here to rip the arse out of people, in essence.
Hello.
Oh, a sniper might's just put in the chat. So the minimum wage now, I'm guessing this is the new, because we're in April
when you're
now.
21, I think.
Is £12.12p.
Crazy. Yeah. 275 was when I first entered the market. 275 an hour.
281 I got working at booths.
Nice.
Yeah.
Meat packing, Walter Smith's. Way.
Walter Smith's?
I can't remember.
Mine was, because I did an apprenticeship, mine was they're allowed to pay, I don't know if it's the same now, but they were allowed to pay apprentices less than the minimum wage.
Yeah, you can.
So I used to get £67 a week for 40 hours.
Oh my God.
That's a piss take, man.
Yeah, and my first wage slip bounced.
No.
Yeah, travelling to Manchester every day for 8 o'clock, 8 till 4 for 67 quid a week.
Oh, God.
And like before then, I'd had Saturday jobs and weekend jobs where you were getting like real wages at time and a half. You could earn, 50 quid in half a day.
Easily.
But yeah. Oh, well.
It's the craziest thing. But yeah, ultimately, it's been going on for ages. This is the reason, mismanagement. They're coming. The unions are clearly involved. They're picketing. They're doing all kinds of stuff. But one thing is, and it's apparent because Birmingham is now, outside of the knife crime, outside of the poverty and the helplessness, which the city, which I love still, not so much the state it's in now, but it's the highlight is on, the spotlight is on mainstream media, international media, the influencers, your YouTubers, they're all popping down to sunny Birmingham.
Really?
Hey, what's going on here, eh? What's all this rubbish? And then some of them are being genuine, and they're going to most parts of Birmingham. So they're going to the affluent parts. And gentlemen, in an affluent part of Birmingham, do you think that there's any bin bags piled up like a 10-story building?
Nope.
No. In the city center of Birmingham, again, is clean. It's only when
Oh.
you go out into the suburbs to the impoverished areas where there is a minority group large there will you find such rubbish.
So
So it's
it's
in
like the
pockets.
strikes are kind of targeted then.
No, the resources are being deployed differently.
Oh fuck. Right.
They've even got, listen to this, gentlemen, mobile waste bins. So they will turn up on a Thursday, for instance, on 12 Acacia Avenue, and then everyone is bowling up there with their cars full of rubbish and their wheelie bins if they're close, and they're just having a free for all. Yeah.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
I just
This
have
is
a.
what
I
we're.
think I would just burn it in the back garden or something.
Well, do you not think people are doing that?
Well, yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
They are.
But what does that do for like your air quality and?
It would be awful.
Thank
Yeah.
you,
know,
Phil.
it's like-
Thank you. The uneducated and misinformed, unfortunately, think, oh, well, and burn it. It's burn the
That's what I
plastic and
do.
all the.
I mean, I don't blame him. It's like, what else? What else can you do? I mean,
You take it. Listen.
Oh, there's a
Most
tip.
people. Exactly. This is the point. And I look, and there is mile-long queues at some places. Honestly,
oh
I saw one today, a
God.
drone footage of going over, and it was like a mile lot long, causing absolute chaos. But ultimately, look, gentlemen, if the same thing, and to the chat, if the same thing afflicted you, would you just allow your bins just to pile up, or would you get one of those jumbo sack things, line it with lots of different bags and whatever, and put your rubbish in there and dispose of it your bloody self?
Yeah,
Because
Probably just go on
unless
holiday.
Go on holiday. Yeah.
is it finished yet? I'll come back.
It's
We
kind
call
of, do you know, it's like that personal responsibility against, well, letting the state do everything for you.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I mean, if you're paying council tax,
for
I'm
that, aren't
fucking
you?
paying for it. You should fucking take it away.
Yeah.
You know, why should I have to go to Screwfix and buy a load of rubble sacks
Yeah.
so I can cart my shit to the tip when I'm paying you
Yeah.
fuckers to do it?
You know, invoice
Yeah.
the cancel for those. Send you a receipt.
Well, people are doing it. Astute people are doing it. I don't know how successful they are, but again, I understand the sentiment and I get it. But ultimately, it's public health now. It's not. We're not all islands. We don't have all the luxury to live in acreages of land. We all have neighbors very close to each other. So if we don't all work together obviously we don't have communities anymore. Forget that. But if we work together, then the amount of rubbish won't be there. And there are neighborhoods where people are doing that. Get it all in the booth. Look, I got a bit more space. Give me that other bag. And they're going to the local tip, or they go into these mobile flipping dumping grounds. It's disgusting, gentlemen. Absolutely disgusting.
What a shit show.
It is a shit show.
Is there any sign of it coming to an end or being reconciled or just
the last piece of news I heard is that they made an allegedly like one of the final kind of offer, a robust offer, and it was turned down. That they laughed at it and said, "Don't be stupid."
do you
Don't
mean
be
like
stupid.
an offer from the council to the union?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And I think, well, central government stepped in now. It's not even Birmingham City Council aren't necessarily driving this fully now. I think central government has stepped in.
They spent all the money on a steel foundry, haven't they? So,
well, the government.
Yeah, central government.
Well, no, supplying it the materials, isn't it? Not the actual foundry.
Yeah, they're paying for the coal, aren't they?
Is it the
Keep it running.
furnace? I read something about
Yes.
a furnace or something not
Yeah,
working.
you can't turn them off. They never go back on again.
Oh, right.
Indeed. Yeah.
It's
And let's not forget these wonderful wind turbines we see in your beautiful neck of the woods, up in all these beautiful hills and stuff, where the sheep and the cattle are maring and bearing. And then we're thinking, oh, that's good for the environment. I love it. And then the offshore wind farms that they've got, and you say, oh, but wait a minute, you have to constantly feed them electricity, even if they're not turning around. How do we make electricity? Do we just catch it out the air from the ethers like Nikola Tesla? Oh no, we don't do that, do we, gentlemen? We chop virgin trees down and we import the pellets and then we burn them and we turn into a turbine and we create electricity and it's just pointless.
I know that's what they call it, renewable energy, don't they? If
Yeah.
you burn in pellets and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Eventually renews.
It's insane. It's
Takes 100
insane.
years to grow a tree.
Well,
I think the descendants of Guy Fawkes, some of his brethren, one of them was I think he was an Earl of Dudley.
All right.
Yamyanland, yeah, he was connected to Dudley or Brierley Hill or something. So we had a lot of Midlands connections to this Guy Fawkes character and his team. I think his descendants need to, I don't think they should blow anything up, but we've got a technological age. I think something needs to be done.
I was going to say, when does it descend? Like, how far do you have to go to get some sort of revolution?
Oh,
I know we've asked this question before in the past. It seems to be we will tolerate an endless amount of shit from all directions.
Okay, here's one. Let's turn it on the head based upon what we're talking about now. And I like that question because this is a good way to pose it back. So what's happening in Birmingham or Birmingham, Birmingham Veg, Birmingham Strong, if that was happening across every city, every town in the UK, what do you think would happen? Do you think the people would stand for this?
I don't know. Judging by recent history, probably, yeah.
People will
Just
take
roll
a
over
lot.
and take it.
People will take a surprising amount, I've found, especially over the last 5 years.
Yeah, zombie apocalypse showed that. But I think, I mean, again, a lot of liberties, literal liberties were removed. But I think if your rubbish hasn't been removed, you've had problems since like before the new year, and now we're in April, almost coming up to bloody May. I think there'd be a lot of unhappy people. The whole of the UK would be up in arms. They would be. Look, do you remember when the farmers were dumping shit all over the local council places because they were putting tariffs and doing all kind of stuff to them?
Yeah.
If people start getting ill, I think that will cause more problems. I think at the moment it's a ever increasing inconvenience that we just kind of avoid addressing, and that's why I don't think anything's happened yet. But as soon as people start getting ill, and they will because of the rats, because of the general filth,
Bubonic plague resurfaces in Birmingham.
Comes back.
Come on,
they'll make a vaccine for it.
An mRNA vaccination, sir.
Well, they're in vogue now. Everything has to be. It's gene therapy or go fuck your mother. They're not interested in anything else.
But it wouldn't surprise me. And now you've said this, it's kind of sparked a bit in me now. It wouldn't surprise me if on Tuesday. Yes, you. And remember, when they're listening, gentlemen, they are listening, and they've got little evil space monkeys in laboratories thinking, "Oh shit! Listen to what Ben's just said." Perfect. We've got that rat over there, the bubonic plague 2.90. Let's put that in Birmingham. Let's put it in Birmingham. Let it flipping breathe, and let's see what we can do over there.
This is the near future.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't think they'd risk it in London. Birmingham would be a better testing ground.
Of course, it would be the perfect testing ground because look. Do you remember that woman who's in prison now? Burn them out and all kind of foolishness she was saying.
Who was that?
Oh,
on Twitter, and she said some horrid things on Twitter about the immigrants and all that, and saying that we should burn them out and stuff. Some horrific stuff. She should not be in prison. I wouldn't say for that.
I think I know what you're talking about, and she's become somewhat prominent in the alternative media, hasn't she? It's almost as if she's a bit of a plant.
Is she in prison for her own protection, do you think?
No.
There we go.
She's not in prison anymore.
Shit.
No, she's out, isn't she? If we're talking about the same person, she retweeted something, or she said it was about the Southport killer, no?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and she qualified a statement with maybes and used ambiguous
Okay.
language to avoid making an actual definite statement, and she still got arrested and thrown in prison over, Keir Starlin's, when he came out and he started throwing everyone in jail.
And then released everybody.
And all these old guys having heart attacks in jail because
Yeah.
they shouldn't be there. I can't remember that chap's name who died. He got
Yeah,
sent
the
down
old
for
guy, man.
he got
That's
sent down
absolutely
for 2
terrible,
years,
man.
didn't he? Got sent down for 2 years for like a Facebook post or something and died in
Yeah.
prison in his mid-60s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's out, and I'm blanking on her name. Someone in the chat might know. But all of a sudden, she's got her own podcast, her own YouTube channel.
Piss off.
It's just like, ooh, I'm not convinced about all this. Like, this doesn't seem organic.
No, not from what you just said there. I had no clue about that part.
I mean, I might be wrong. Don't quote me on anything because I'm a retard, but I'm pretty sure we're talking about the same person. I'm just looking at chat now and no one's coming up with it, but...
Was there something to do with her not being able to see her daughter while she was locked up?
That's the one.
Oh, it's the same one. It's
Yeah.
the same one then. Wow. Okay. Yeah, well, they create like your Russell Brand's the savior. He's the savior, remember?
What a weird...
Mr. Fish.
What the fuck is that all about? Like, he
Come
went
on.
from this... I remember when he burst into the scene, like, in the mid-noughties.
Yes.
As this sort of Lothario. He had this sort of... I don't know.
He was he gave me creepy vibes.
Yeah,
Then.
from the start.
Yeah.
I mean...
Androgynous looking weirdo.
Yeah. Incredibly eloquent. Holy shit.
Yes.
If I wish I could express myself the way he does.
Yeah.
He's so quick. He's obviously highly intelligent. His verbal intelligence is off the fucking charts. He's so quick-witted, so eloquent. You hear these, he has this reputation of being this Casanova, whatever. Yeah, eventually breaks it into Hollywood and gets a couple of big movies. Then he's off with fembot Katy Perry.
Yeah.
MK Ultra Katy Perry. And they get married or engaged.
The astronaut.
They got married, didn't they?
The astronaut.
Yeah. The astronaut.
And
That's
then
it.
he comes back, seems to have settled down. And then during the COVID era, he has this sort of divine revelation.
Yeah, he finds Christ.
I think he knew he was up shit creek.
What
and
has
his
he gone?
past
Has he
was-
gone Christ?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
went full Christ.
I didn't know.
He got baptized in the river.
All that.
Did he?
Yeah.
Didn't know
Took
that.
all
I
his
didn't know he'd
sins
become
forgiven
religious.
a little too seriously. I think.
It's pretty fashionable though. If
You
you're
know
in the
it is.
alternative media and you want to
Come
sort
on.
of harness an audience,
Yes.
Get
Slate
Christian.
clean.
declaring yourself
You
as
white pill yourself.
as a Jesus freak and swallow. Don't just take one white pill, take the whole bottle.
JD
Yeah.
Vance.
And
Put the coat on and the hat.
you're kind of guaranteeing a certain audience.
You will.
It'd be
You
good for
will.
America. I imagine
And you'll
that,
switch off a
wouldn't
lot
it?
of people as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be good for America. Yeah,
I imagine it would be good for America and the right wing kind of media there, maybe.
Exactly.
And then not
Exactly. Where the
not
money
2
is.
minutes later, all these allegations start coming out. And then, well, is that sniping? Is that mainstream sniping, establishment sniping, or is he actually a fucking creep?
I think he's
I don't
actually a
know.
fucking creep.
I mean, he gave.
Well, I don't know. I don't know him. I don't know if there's any
No,
truth
yeah,
to it.
yeah. I mean, he gave off those vibes, didn't he? But he could say that was a character.
An evil presence.
Yeah. What's the name of the Scottish woman on who comes on after This Morning?
Lorraine Kelly.
Lorraine Kelly. That's it. Yeah, because did you ever hear about the story when she was getting done for tax?
Yeah.
And it was something along the lines of, I can't pay tax because Lorraine Kelly is a character that I play on TV.
Oh, that's good.
Essentially. So I can't remember what the exact loophole was.
She get out of it.
I don't know. Be interesting to find out.
Yeah,
You know?
because I quite like that strategy.
Yeah, your public persona is one
is a
of
character.
Ben, of Amish Ben.
Amish Ben, yeah.
But think about the logic of that. Then that makes sense on the surface. So okay, that's your public persona. That's fine. That's fine. So, are you, as the non-public persona, do you receive any benefits from the public persona's income? Because if you can show us a separation, then I'll just go after the persona. Then I won't go after you.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you have kids who are famous or are actors or whatever, and they earn money from that, did they pay tax? Or do you pay tax as their parent?
I imagine
You would,
the
because you're their
business-
legal guardian in it.
Right. Okay. So is Lorraine Kelly's legal guardian whoever the
Lorraine Kelly?
Yeah, Lorraine Keeley.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, this is out of my remit, gentlemen, of sorts, but I know a little bit. The only way I think she could get away with it would be if Lorraine Kelly is a trust.
I don't know. Right. Maybe it could be set up that way, couldn't it?
Yeah, if she set that up as a trust, then that's its own entity.
She does come across as quite trustworthy.
She certainly does, with those little tiny teeth that she has in her mouth.
Yeah, I know. But
You know,
what's annoying about it though is it's the access that you're granted to these kinds of loopholes. You know, when you earn, a certain amount of money, I guess whatever that might be. Whereas, if you're in a PAYE job, essentially, you don't even have a choice, do you? So, like, I think that was it brought in the 60s, PAYE, and prior to that, you used to have to pay. You did your own tax returns like you do in America, essentially.
Okay.
So yeah, but it's a very different kind of mindset, isn't it? That your wage is what you see at the end of the month, and the tax is taken at the point of payment. Whereas in the old days, you did it yourself, kind of thing. Unless you're self-employed now.
This is going to be controversial of sorts.
It's not
But
like
I
us.
can understand why. If you work hard and you earn, let's go through it. You earn under 40K. That's just your base 20%, not your 17.5% like it used to be. It's your base 20%. 40K upwards, it's 40% of your earnings, of your life force, which you have given forth to be recompensed with fiat currency. Once we get to 125, we're talking, 45%, gentlemen? That's a piss take.
Yeah,
That is
it
a
is.
piss take, and then you earn any more than that. You start getting to the money which I'm not even considering. They're talking 60%. They will take 60% of your money and leave you with 40%. This is why we've got these loopholes in place and all that kind of bloody stuff.
And they won't even empty your bins.
There we go. Come on.
But the other thing I was just going to say about have you talking about industry plants? Have you anybody who's talking on this podcast or in the chat come across Gary Economics?
No, who's Gary Economics? Sounds like a YouTuber.
He is a YouTuber.
Gaza.
Me and Millennial Dan talk about him sometimes because he pops up on my YouTube feed quite a lot, actually. But he talks. Basically his story is that he worked for an investment bank. He earned like millions of pounds.
Is he a little Cockney guy?
He wears a hat.
No, that's Banker Dave.
Now that he's not Cockney, is he?
he not?
He's from Burnley.
Oh yeah.
Was he a working class kid who got a job at Goldman
Yes.
Sachs? He's right. Okay.
This is what I just said. So I don't know if he's a shill or an industry plant or whatever.
Yeah, he's a plant.
But basically, he talks like but he sits there with his. I'll try and do it. Well, you can't really see here. He always has his knees up like this.
Okay.
And he sits, like all casual and shit. And he has a bobble hat like placed on top of his head, and he always has a cup of tea.
Yeah.
He always has a brew in his videos, and he's like, yeah. And the three things that he always says is working class background. I'm a millionaire now. Banks basically take the piss out of you.
They do.
And the tax rates should be higher. Basically, should be taxed more.
Higher.
Yeah. The higher earnings should be taxed more. So he talks about, which is true, the higher rate of tax in the 60s, or the highest rate of tax in the 60s, I think, 50s and 60s was 95%.
Think about all the other taxes you pay with the money.
I was going to get into that before Matt got into Gary Economics, because it only starts at income tax.
Yeah.
That's the first.
Okay, here we go. Come on.
Well, that's why the Beatles. That's why Taxman was written. But that's why these like these, yeah, and the Who, why they bought country estates.
Yeah.
So that was a loophole, basically. If you bought assets, you weren't taxed on the cash, essentially. There's a way around it.
95% tax in the
Yeah.
1960s.
So they say it was a hangover from World War II, basically.
Ah.
But that,
was this for everybody?
the higher rate. So
Higher rate.
I don't know.
Over a certain threshold as well.
Yeah.
Shit.
So, but yeah, it was. So that's what it was basically. Yeah. You talk about tax being high now, and it does feel high, especially if you get up to like the 40% or whatever.
I think Ben hit the nail on the head, though. It's not that it's your income tax is high. It's that as soon as you try and spend that money you've already been taxed on, you get taxed
again.
all the way through the system.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Council tax comes out after your
of course it does.
tax with the money you've already been taxed on.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the real terms tax increase on the things that you buy is insane.
Yeah.
And somehow the government's always skint.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Where does it go? Where does all that money go? Yeah.
Moon pies and penny whistles.
How does it ever?
HS2.
How does it ever come back?
Millennium Dome.
Whoa!
Oh, God.
How much have they spunked on HS2?
Billions.
Who cares? It's not their money.
Nah, no, yeah.
Don't matter.
No.
That's the thing that
It's
people
just
don't
insane.
realize
really
that the
is.
government doesn't have any money. It's our money.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, where's the value in the value-added tax?
Well, this is why Trump's kicking off with all these tariffs because they don't have it. They don't have VAT. That's why
The sales tax. They just have sales tax, don't they?
Yeah, but it's 1 point of tax at the end. Whereas we have VAT and all these taxes all the way through the supply chain.
Exactly.
That's why you can buy a Ford Mustang in America for 25 grand and over here it's 58 because you're getting taxed all the way through the supply chain.
Nuts.
And he's saying, well, that's not fair. We want you UK guys to be able to buy a really great Ford Mustang or a Dodge Charger. But, it ain't going to happen because we have to buy Volkswagens and BMWs and whatever.
Right.
It's a shit show.
And
But,
then 2 times taxation at the pump.
What's that? What do you mean
on the pump, fuel-wise?
Yeah.
VAT and fuel duty.
I mean, what is the fuel duty? It's about 67%, 70% maybe? 60%?
It's a lot, isn't it?
Well, I mean, again, look at how much gas costs in America. It's half the price.
Mm-hmm.
And they buy by the gallon as well, not by the litre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they can afford to.
I remember very recent. Well, I say recent, it's probably about 20 years ago. Them in America kicking off when it became $1 for a gallon, which is just under 4 liters. Is it? Just over 4 liters, something like that. So yeah,
4+, yeah.
But again, they're rich in natural resources as well in America. They have lots of gas and oil
and oil, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And one of his big catchphrases was "drill, baby, drill."
Yeah,
he wants to extract. He wants to get rid of all this green agenda and start extracting these natural resources that they have over there.
Is that why there's a lot of talk about Greenland then as well?
Yeah, why not? I mean, anywhere he can get his hands on. That's why, the Ukraine minerals deal. I mean, we knew how this was going to end, didn't we? With a deal.
Yes.
And it's going to be a deal where the country gets raped by the superpowers. Because that's how it always goes. We've got the money. We've got the weapons.
Yeah.
We can put an end to this, but we want our cut. We want our cheese on the back end. We want access. We want US companies in there extracting these minerals for the next 100 years.
Exactly.
And our government's already done a 100-year deal with Ukraine. Keir Starmer's already signed it. We covered it a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it shows all the things that we're going to collaborate with over the next 100 years.
Is that mineral or is that
Minerals is in there, IT, AI, there's all sorts of nonsense. Everything, just across the board, basically. But, we want to make sure we get our end as well. We've given them some old shitty tornadoes, probably, and hawks.
Yeah.
How can you see 100 years into the future?
You don't? You're planning because it's all planned, isn't it?
It's like a lease, isn't it? It's like a lease agreement.
Like Hong
I
Kong.
mean,
It'll get
do you
renewed in 10 years, probably.
Do you think Trump will make an AI generated video like he did for Gaza? For Ukraine. I mean, why wouldn't he did one, And we can't say he did it, but he reposted it, right? It was reposted. Okay. So if someone did one when it's Trump and Elon there in Ukraine and the girls are doing their little Ukrainian dances and all that.
Back in the USSR as the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yes. I love it. Yeah. Look, it's
we could make it.
It's very distasteful. It's awfully distasteful.
Not good.
It is. People are getting killed there. I mean, that's how I understand it. There's lots of weird and wacky theories about what's going on in Ukraine and all the rest of it, but from what I can tell, there's hundreds of thousands of people being killed there. Can we put a stop to it, like immediately? That should be the first goal.
Yep.
Exactly.
Can we have a ceasefire? Whatever it takes, just to get a ceasefire signed for a start, and then we'll go from there. Can we? Can we do
There's
that?
supposed to be a ceasefire now, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
There's supposed
allegedly.
to be one, isn't there? Yeah.
What legitimacy, good gentlemen, do you give forth to the videos that we're seeing on the filthy platform Twitter of the gentlemen being accosted on the streets in Ukraine and dragged into these trucks and stuff?
Yeah, we've been sent a load of them on Instagram, or maybe or Facebook.
Right.
And like I said to Gav who sent them, it's like, I don't know. I can't. What can I make of this? I can't speak Russian or Ukrainian.
This is it, yeah.
Is this it? It looks real. Doesn't mean it's real. Could be staged. It's like I'm not going to nail my flag to the.
What is the alleged?
The allegation is that the Ukrainian government is rounding young men up who are trying to evade conscription.
Yes. Yes.
And like basically rounding them up, throwing them into the back of Black Mariahs and carting them off to the front line.
Wonderful.
I mean, it wouldn't be unheard of.
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't be.
So I don't know, but I don't know. How can I verify it? What the fuck do I know about anything? You have to sort of just keep an open mind and say, well, I can't say one way or the other. It might be true, it might be not.
It'd be the same here if we had conscription and deserters being shot, things like that.
I don't know. You would hope not. You'd hope we're past that.
Not, but
we had the white, was it the White Lotus? No, the White Feather movement, didn't we? Where we had women giving young men this white feather as a sign of their cowardice.
Yes.
To conscientious objectors.
Ah.
And I think that was World War One, maybe.
One.
Would it
Yeah,
one?
one.
Probably one. Yeah.
Sure, it was one.
Who didn't want to partake in the British Expeditionary Force at the time.
I mean, did you, gentlemen, in your wildest dreams and imagination, did you think in the growing year 2025, with all the dreams, hopes, and aspirations and unlimited potential we had as children, that wars would still be taking place in this year and people would still be dying? People would still not have access to food, clothing, and shelter in this year?
It's like we grew up with Star Trek, The Next Generation.
Yeah.
The future is a communist utopia. There is no such thing as money. You just go to the replicator machine. It'll give you anything you want. We have a united federation of planets, a united nation.
The other thing about that, though, is at the same time, so, we were born in the early 80s. So there was the Afghani-Russia war, USSR war then, wasn't there? There was
late
the Gulf,
70s, 80s, early 80s, yeah.
Gulf War.
Falklands.
Falklands,
Falklands prior to that, yeah.
And then so you got like all the Balkans, Rwanda, genocide.
Yeah.
You'll notice the thing though, that's all happening somewhere else.
Yeah, I suppose the
happening
other
here.
side of the world, isn't it? But there's always our war, isn't there? There's been a war all the way through childhood, I suppose, despite being fed those kinds of messages.
There is always war, and you have to ask yourself how it starts. And wars only happen when people obey orders. You have to kill that guy over there.
Yeah.
And I have the authority to tell you to kill that guy you don't even know over there because I've got some badges on my chest. Or I was elected by the people. I have a democratic mandate to order you to kill that guy who you don't even know over in that foreign country. If enough people said, fuck off.
Yeah.
That's the end of war.
Yeah.
Stop listening to these fuckers.
Yes.
Who are more than willing to send young men and women to die in foreign lands and just tell them to fuck off. Not doing it anymore. Not playing this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fucking
Enough
pinko.
people said it.
Pacifist nonsense. But that's the only reason it happens. But you gotta factor in, there's this thing of the human condition with young men. Young men tend to be more aggressive. They need an outlet for that aggression. The famous sources for that outlet have been things like sport.
Yes.
Rugby. We'll play rugby instead. Like anything to channel this male aggression away from killing people into something semi-constructive. And but I think you still need a target. You still need these, this hierarchy of government to actually point out a target and say, "Oh, you kill them fuckers over there." I don't know. So it's a riddle, isn't it?
Yeah.
War and how it starts and how you put an end to it.
Yeah.
It's removing this crazy desire from a certain set of, I would call them non-humans and non-mankind, because it doesn't make any sense for their mentality to be suffering and enrichment of self. At some point, when you've got so much money you can't even name it, you're past trillionaire status. We're like, what are we actually doing? What's the point? Like all these rich Arabs and all the sheikhs and all that, and they'll pay these influencers to be porta potties and stuff and do unspeakable acts and make them. It's again, they've got so much money, they've done everything. What else can I do? Like, no, that should not be your mind. It should be, shit, look, I've got all this. Who can I help?
Who can I help?
Look, let me call up Phil. Look, I've got all this money, right? If I can give you this, can you help somebody else as well? And then by the time we've done that, everybody is in the place where they're happy, they're comfortable, and there's no woes. And there will be some stragglers who'll be like, I don't want your money, Phil. I'll do it on my own.
I think a lot of the problem you identify as these people who want more, and nothing is ever enough. But the other side of that is these people get to a certain level and they don't want to lose what they've got. That's the other motivation that guides them. They want to stay on top. They don't want to lose what they have.
Where do you, and I'm going to say the name, so bingo cards at the ready, where would you put Bill Gates in all this? Because he catches a lot of shade, but isn't that exactly what he's been doing for the last 10 years? Giving away his wealth and not trying to get more.
That's tax purposes.
The foundation.
Come on, Ben.
It's tax write-off.
Foundation. It's tax write-off.
What's he said about vaccines? It's the best investment he ever made.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
It's
if
not
someone gets
altruistic.
to that stage and does want to do that thing, they're instantly going to have people saying, "Oh, it's for tax purposes," or he's like a government shield, or he's a space alien or a lizard or something.
I like it. I like you playing righteous advocate, most definitely. So,
it's a new one for me.
we have to, because well on this show, gentlemen, we'll never play devil's advocate. We'll always play righteous advocate. So the fruits from the tree will be bore. So if we see on one hand a millionaire, a multi-millionaire, a billionaire, a trillionaire, whatever the hell this demon is, he's got a foundation, a charitable foundation, the Bill and Melinda, obviously not anymore. It must just be Bill Foundation. He's given loads of money out, and he's going to Africa, the cradle of civilization, and he's giving them all kind of vaccinations and stuff, and to India as well, to the East Indians. And a lot of those women were becoming sterile and stuff, and a lot of children were dying and stuff. So again, fruits will be bore. What are we doing outside of that? We're creating a monopoly. How we came up was stealing intellectual property, creating a system where you have to have licenses and a perpetual system. And he saw and thought, wait a minute, we can do the same thing with medicine as well. I could use the same Microsoft model with these mRNA vaccinations. Just jump into it. I'll fund you little nerds in the thing. Oh, yeah, I'm Dr. Gates from hell now. And I will do it.
Did he not get in trouble for a similar model with the seeds, the GMO seeds?
Yes.
So selling seeds to, I think it was India, and they give them these GMO seeds and they sow them, and once the crop harvests, it won't repollinate. So you have to keep going back to him to buy the seeds every year rather than sort of regenerating the farming in that way. Yeah, it's.
Can I whiplash snap back then to the KLF burning £1 million in the early 90s? So they had a lot of money, and they decided to just set fire to it for an art installation. A lot of people were very angry about that.
Yeah,
I can imagine, because people will make the argument, well, you could have spent that money on homeless shelters and this and that and
GMO seeds.
Yeah, GMO seeds.
1,000 other ways you could have spent that money better.
So where do they fit on the kind of Bill Gates versus Jimmy Corti, Julian Cope?
Very low down. Very low down.
So it's better to burn £1 million than all right, okay.
Yeah, of course. That fiat currency, I promise to pay the bearer.
You could argue that it's kind of a neutral act. That
it's my money. I can do what I want with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. What was their rationale for doing it?
Just because it was shits and giggles, essentially.
No higher messaging.
I don't think there was any higher messaging there.
Right.
We're going to do
for
this.
Shits and giggles.
You were funding them, KLF. I remember the name. I remember this incident, but I don't remember much about them at all.
Ancients of Moo Moo.
Yeah, just
they had 2 songs, didn't they?
What label were they
5 a.m. to something.
Were they EMI?
Transcendental.
The EMI?
I think they were EMI at one point, yeah. And Julian Cope had some solo stuff. Don't know what Jimmy Corti did after that. Tammy Wynette sang on Justified and Ancient.
They're justified.
Yeah.
I've not read the book. You give me the book of the. Is it the biography?
Yeah, it's good. It's
of
really
the KLF.
good.
I've still not read it. Maybe I will.
It's worth it
someday.
And burn £50.
Steady on.
Oh, right, sorry, £10.
I think we're Bitcoiners here or something.
Burn anymore.
No, we're Picoiners.
Polymer notes. You
Give
can
a
do that nowadays without causing an air quality disaster.
Exactly. Keep the air clean, and also listen. Keep Britain tidy.
Yes.
Why the hell don't we have advertisements like that anymore? Why on earth don't we have the little man, the little
green man?
With the throwing the litter in the bin? Why don't we have those anymore?
Go to work on an egg.
I don't what?
A pint of milk a day. They're the other ones from the early 80s, late 70s.
I don't remember go to work
on an egg.
I remember that one because it was after Edwina Curry said don't eat eggs. Isn't it?
So salmonella.
Salmonella, yes, come on.
There's nothing
traumatized me. Well, listen, do you still have runny eggs since that? I haven't had a runny egg since.
Yeah,
you do?
Yeah.
If it's not runny, it's not worth eating.
No, yeah.
You are crazy.
Did your mum?
Do you not eat them raw?
Did your mum? Did not Rocky Balboa them?
Why not?
No,
yeah.
no.
A warm yolk.
I did a job for a chap in Burnley. Was it January this year? I can't remember. But he had
sheep eggs.
He had some ducks.
Oh, duck eggs.
And he gave me some duck eggs. It still had mud on them.
Oh,
I was like, they were ginormous.
Yeah, man.
And like Fabergé eggs, and I cracked them up, fried them up. Oh my god, the best eggs you'll ever have.
Yeah. Hey, another good set of eggs is blue eggs. If you can get blue barn eggs.
Yeah.
Ooh, beautiful. They're expensive as hell, though.
Are they?
Blue?
Yeah, man. They're flipping up at like £4 odd for 6.
Right, I've got another business. We go to Lidl, buy a lot of eggs, and paint them blue.
Yeah.
Blue eggs. It's like Peckham Springs.
I went to my local premiere, and the eggs were white.
Right.
Oh yeah, you can get them white as well. Yeah, they're nice as well, depending on the quality of them.
No, they were like paper.
Oh shit.
They were paper white eggs. Yeah. I wasn't very impressed with those.
Were the yolks very orange?
I can't remember, so maybe not.
Okay, here's a strange one, maybe question wise. So, you take out. So follow me, gentlemen. You go to the fridge. You take the eggs out. You've got your bowl. You're making scrambled egg. You crack the eggs, and you've got your spoon and your fork to take away the umbilical cords. Do you guys do that as well?
What? It's the best bit.
No, I just leave it. I leave them in. Yeah, I leave them in.
You leave that shit in.
It's just protein, isn't it? You are eating a well, it's
I'll be
supposed to
mint.
be an unfertilized egg, isn't
Exactly,
it? But why is
exactly.
it, we got quite a lot of mine have the red bits in, yeah.
Get lash
You
eggs
remove.
as well.
Please tell me, Matt, you removed the blood.
No.
Shut up.
Whisk it in.
Do you not eat black pudding?
I haven't eaten that since a child, but no, I will not. No,
So it's just the same, isn't it?
haggis, black pudding.
Yeah,
No,
I'd eat
gentlemen.
haggis, yeah, as long as it-
You need to come up north,
It's
Noble,
all about
and be
offal.
re-educated.
Yeah.
It's all about offal and
Offal
brains.
Awful,
and-
yeah, no.
Monkey
Yeah.
brain.
Hard-working
brain.
mining towns and all that. I get it. I get it.
We were Milltown, actually.
Okay, Mill. Apologies.
Yes.
Apologies.
We need to
The
go to
linen.
Wigan. Need to go to Wigan for the
The
mines.
stomach lining's the best part.
Tripe.
Tripe.
Pickled tripe.
Okay.
Beautiful.
So
Mm.
what about oxtail?
Yeah, oxtail soup, man.
Yeah.
That's
No,
not. That's just normal.
That's not
right?
the shit from the Heinz stuff. I'm talking about going to the butchers and getting some oxtail and
What's
cooking
one of
that
them?
down.
What's a what? A butt what?
Yeah, I know, yeah. they're
Fucking
right.
hell, good luck finding a butcher's around here.
There's two near me. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I think I'm trying to think. There's one in Ribbleton. There's one there.
Oh yeah,
still.
I mean they exist, but I
Yeah.
mean you used to have one at the end of every street. You had
Oh,
a
yeah.
butchers, a greengrocers,
And a
Candlestick
baker's.
maker.
and a
Cobblers,
baker's.
and a keysmith. What
it?
keysmith?
Well, we used to go to
Locksmith.
one at Cadley Causeway.
I mean, there's
Every week.
there's a selection of micro pubs now, isn't there?
And
Yeah.
vape shops.
Yes.
Vape shops, Turkish barbers, and micro pubs.
Yes. Are everywhere. Yeah.
American candy stores.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mm.
few of them.
I think they're ingenious because they have the ability to open up so quickly, have a beautiful frontage, have a beautiful layout. Not many people go into these establishments, strangely. I think it's just the times I see them, but they operate, and there'll be another one right next door to them, and they're both operating at the same time. Successful business people, I'll tell you.
Mm.
Yeah, very clever.
Yeah.
It's very clever, man. I don't know how they do it. Maybe it's online business that they do. So the shop is just to try and get the trade, but they do the majority, like 99% of their business is done online, possibly.
I imagine so. Or maybe it's like one of those shops that you went to in China where you had to just leave everything
Oh
at
my
the
God,
till.
that's so weird. Yeah, there was no staff, no. There wasn't a till. Well, there was a machine that looked like it might take some money, but I couldn't figure out what it was.
It was like a fully automated shopping
Yeah,
experience.
I had an armful of stuff, and I knew there were
7-Eleven.
cameras. I had to put it all back and then like wave at the camera to let me out.
To let you
Well,
out.
I think I could have got out anyway, but I had to make sure that it knew that I wasn't stealing any shit.
because
I
you
hadn't
might
paid
be
for it.
you
I was
might be
like,
shot.
Exactly, yeah.
You would be hung, wouldn't you? Yeah, as a
Dragged through
spy.
the streets, yeah.
No, they're hard labor, man. They ain't gonna hang you. They'll just do hard labor or firing squad.
Yeah. Get the money's worth out of him. 10 years hard labour, then take his organs.
Yes.
What-
Useless.
Well, at least I was useful.
The Falun Gong.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Pancreas is gone. The flipping liver's gone.
Well,
I was
can have it.
watching a clip from the Grand Tour, you know, what Jeremy Clarkson did on Amazon.
The car people.
Yeah, the car people talking about China, and they were driving down the Chinese motorways, and every so often there was cameras with flashes.
Yeah.
Going off right. So it's like a 4-lane motorway, and there was 4 cameras, and he would photograph every single car as it passed,
Yeah.
no matter whether you were
Speeding or not, yeah.
If you just know, it was just to check that you weren't doing anything that the
Yeah.
government didn't
Make
want
sure
you to
you're
do.
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they
Making
photographed
sure that you're
every
safe.
single car, basically. It was so they were driving down at night, and the flash would go off, and it'd be like, and you'd be like completely blinded by it, and it's pouring down, and yeah, it was just to check that you weren't doing anything illegal, basically.
Oh wow.
I don't know how.
If you're not doing anything illegal, you've nothing to worry about,
Exactly, yeah.
Matthew.
But it was like I don't know
Honestly.
how spaced out they were. But obviously, the clip was like every 5 seconds they were getting.
Fuck.
But I don't know.
Blinded.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's like at every junction or something, maybe.
Yeah,
or
maybe. Are you
Every
saying I
mile.
might have edited that sequence to
Have you checked the
No.
chat?
impression of
No? What?
Why would we?
Restream bots.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it comes up every week. That.
What? What's that? Oh, 100 messages.
You're saying
Congratulations. Thanks, chat.
It's saying remove a space so you can do the restream or something mad.
Oh, no, that's just some bullshit.
Yeah,
from
that's just
some
for us.
spam
They
twat.
want to sell us listeners. But
Oh, are we getting spammed?
Yeah, we get
every
I think
week.
we get that one every
Oh.
week.
Yeah, we get a message every week like that.
Let's see if I can add
Ban
to the
him, man.
I'm add
Ban
to the
him.
block list. There you go.
Yeah.
You're on the blacklist now.
Mm.
Oh man. Well, cracky, we've blitzed over an hour already, Noble.
Oh,
We have to wrap this up, shouldn't we?
yeah.
I'm gonna keep you all night.
Can do.
Yeah, I've got. Listen, gentlemen, I have roasted sweet lamb.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
Sweet lamb.
That's
Happy
what you
Easter.
should be having. We haven't talked about Easter once
We
tonight.
haven't. He is
Shit.
risen.
He rises today. I thought it was tomorrow, but my son corrected me.
Yeah.
He's hot
Tomorrow.
He's hot on the old religion. We
But why
googled
would
it.
it? But technically, he didn't
it's-
rise. He didn't rise today.
Wow.
It was the Passover he rose, which is Friday sundown to Saturday sundown.
Right.
It's a Catholic thing. Why they've made it Sunday?
Is he struggling getting the rock out of
It's
the
a
way?
clusterfuck.
You
is
know
what
it.
is.
You know it. Phil knows. Phil knows.
It's like the Sabbath.
Yes.
We have Sabbath on a Sunday, whereas the Hebrews
Yeah.
on it on a Saturday. It's like we just make the rules up as we go along.
Based over.
It's fine. It's fine. As long as I get my chocolate egg, I'm happy.
Yeah, I know. So we all got an egg, so it was fine. I had an excellent bit of Rocky Road today.
An excellent bit.
Yes, it has some eggs. in.
Very good.
An extravaganza.
Yes. Yes.
Magnifique, gentlemen. Magnifique, listeners. It's been wonderful. I thoroughly enjoyed it. We didn't have any wrestling talk. We didn't do any wrestling talk or anything, man. We'll do it next time, though.
Yeah.
Tell everyone, Noble, who's on our side, where they can find you.
Birmingham.
You can find me on in sunny Birmingham, where there's unfortunately loads of bins and rubbish and stuff. It's not the best at the moment, but every on all social media platforms, your main ones, so your IG, your Twitter, as I still refer to it as. I'm on Rumble. I'm on BitChute. We forgot to talk about the BitChute controversy.
You mentioned it last week briefly, but yeah, it's down for us in the UK because of we need to make the internet the safest in the world.
Of
in
course.
the UK, 'cause we
Protect
can't
the
be trusted.
children, even though they've got pocket computers and access porn
Won't
freely.
someone please think of the children.
Come on, the children, the little kids, man, the little kids. But yes, all of the good stuff, podcasts, wherever you consume your podcasts, just type in CFR Network. Yes, all the links will be below in the description, I am sure.
Oh well, I don't know. I was just gonna pull it up now. I'm sure I feel like I've got Spotify and YouTube.
Okay.
Your Spotify and YouTube profiles up, but I can't even frigging find it now.
No worry, we can always do an update. We can always do an update.
Yeah, I can update this.
I'll spam. You know what I'll do as well, gentlemen? I'll spam. Do you know for the replay, do you leave your live chat up?
It should do, but it's hit and miss. Sometimes it plays, it
does,
replays
yeah.
the live chat, and sometimes it doesn't. It's like, yeah, I've just got Spotify and YouTube up. So
Sound. I'll spam the chat with
you need to
some
get
of the
yourself
other links.
get yourself an all my links domain.
Oh shit! So you click on that and it takes you to all the little bits and pieces.
Yeah,
in it.
you get all of them in one hit. Then
like Linktree.
Okay.
Yeah, we got banned from Linktree.
Yeah. Boo.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't use Linktree. They're fucking bastards.
Yeah.
Pardon my profanity. But send me the link. Send me the link for that, gentlemen, offline, and I will definitely make that a reality because it does make sense having one source rather than multiple links.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right. Right, Noble, it's been great to meet up again. It's been good fun.
Lovely.
As always.
Evening all. We shall sign off and we shall return in 5 minutes just to do a couple of headlines. Maybe talk about our Easter experience.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, our arcade.
Oh,
fucking hell, Noble. Oh my gosh. Who's been?
Where you go?
Ben, you've been, haven't you?
I've been. I went.
Did you go to Arcade Club?
No, I didn't go.
Oh my gosh. Well, the one thing about Arcade Club is that you're not allowed to talk about Arcade Club, but we are going to talk.
What stays it got?
We are going to talk about Arcade Club in
100%,
part 2.
yes.
400 arcade machines.
Wow.
Whoa!
From the 1970s to
They're all Street Fighter 2.
from the 1970s to the latest Japanese weird imports.
Oh my god.
So
yes.
stay tuned for that. in part 2. Right. Nice one, Noble.
Yeah.
Love
Cheers,
you
Noble.
loads. Take care.
Adios.
Email tomorrow.
Bye. Bye.
Lads.